We're proud of our country, mountains and streams.
Our Jennian culture, our nation, our team.
Partnering with people who share your values is important. To achieve gold medals, you've got to put the hard yards in. The Jennian team share that pursuit of excellence, giving their best every day. And they get the results. Well done on 40 years, Jennian. Thanks for being the team behind the NZ team.
Kia ora koutou, atamarie, welcome everyone and good morning back to Newtown Park here in Wellington. My name is Hayden Sherman, with me is Sarah Kelly-Ross, and as you can see the rain has arrived. The weather has closed in a little after the beautiful sunny day we had yesterday, but the action is heating up already at this early hour of the morning. Right now we have the senior men's heats going. We just saw Liam Webb cruise through to qualify for the final in the first heat. Sarah Kelly-Ross, how are you this morning?
Oh, great. Great, thanks, Hayden. Good sleep after a huge day yesterday. And, you know, the rain is here, but it will not dampen our spirits. We've got an exciting day ahead of us, and, you know, I can't wait.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm actually surprised you got to sleep after the action last night. I had to go to the gym to burn off some excess energy.
Oh, good work.
About 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Goodness me.
Got in there.
Yeah, well, this is what happens. You know,
did
there
the
was
old
a
battle
lot,
ropes.
battle
Slammed
ropes.
the medicine ball on the ground.
Bit of a wad.
So, yeah. When I finish a day of commentary, my brain is buzzing, and I need to get some of the pent-up excitement out.
That's a really good
some med ball slams, some battle ropes work. They didn't have a bag to hit, but that usually works as well.
I hope the hotel gym was on the ground floor, because you were probably going to be waking people up at the
shout
Ibis.
out to Snap Fitness.
Snap Fitness, great.
I make sure I belong to a gym where I can go all around the country. It's one of the little tricks when you're on the road.
Tricks of the trade. You're a busy man doing lots of commentary work for athletics, and that's great that you got a good workout in last night. Yeah, but
enough of my physical exploits. The focus this morning is on these 400-metre heats, which we've had one of three go. Now, in this next heat, we've got Josh Ledger in lane 2, one of the local boys. Lex Revel-Lewis is next to him. Fergus McClay next to him. Matthew Eadie in lane 5. Travis Baylor in lane 6. Lane 7 is John Wells. And out there on the outside, Jeremiah Ngudria, who's one of our international athletes. Not too sure where he is. Can you make out that singlet at all? If anyone knows Jeremiah, feel free to jump in that comment section and let us know. It'd be good to shout out where...
Tahiti, actually. Tahiti. Bonjour.
And in the field, we've got a load of action happening out there in the rain. So the high jump is the men's under 18. We've also got the men's under 18 long jump going on. That is in round 1 at the moment, I believe. Then we've got the women's under 16 discus, and the under 20 pole vault is happening right now as well. Pole vaulting in this kind of weather, that's a challenging start, but I know a lot of those junior athletes have dealt with these sorts of conditions at the secondary school level as well, so they won't be too unfamiliar with this kind of situation. There we go, the bar's set at 162 there in the high jump.
I believe that was Oliver Barnett. First miss at that height for him. And yes, it's, for the field eventers in particular, I think you pack a lot of gear on days like this. You know, you've got to make sure you've got a good jacket and some good wet weather pants. And you know, I tell you what, that the merchandise man here is selling umbrellas. We've got one for one of our camera crew operators out there in the field today. But I tell you what, I hope that person makes a little bit of money.
Yeah. It's a funny business, the Wellington umbrella business. I used to live here, and about 300 metres from the Wellington railway station is a corner that got titled Umbrella Corner, because people would hold their umbrellas, then hit this corner, and then they would just blast to pieces by the wind. So I feel like it's a good business to get into, because they don't last long here. Anyway, back to the second heat of the 400. So we have 3 heats. So first 2 across the line will go through automatically, and then we'll be looking for next fastest times. Be safe to say you need to be sub 50. Now, wind conditions are pretty good at the moment. There's just a light southerly blowing across the track. But the main challenge is probably the temperature and the surface. So they'll be making use of their spikes out there on this Mondo surface here at Newtown Park and getting out nice and strong. John Wells from Canterbury also making some inroads on the inside of the track is Lex Revel Lewis wearing the blue of Auckland. You can see him just coming up onto the shoulder of Fergus McLeay of Otago, sitting there in lane 4. So those 3 and possibly also Josh Ledger now coming into the picture as they come around the bend. So it's the local boy from Wellington, Josh Ledger, who is coming up onto his toes as they hit the home straight, but 3 boys all lining up to try and get one of those 2 automatic places. It is going to be Lex Revel Lewis who pulls through. Fergus McLeay is right there with him, and Josh Ledger will have to wait and see what happens with the clock. Good competitive racing from those 3 boys on those inside lanes.
Good way to wake up this morning, run a 400 and a little bit of drizzle here at Newtown Park, but great to see those guys out there. And we have some unofficial results for you. Lex Revel Lewis 48.77, Fergus McLeary 49.15, and Josh Ledger 49.68. So we wait to see who will be the ones to make it through to the final.
Just checking when those finals were. I had a feeling they'd be on this afternoon,
no,
but it's
tomorrow. Yeah,
so
tomorrow.
Yeah, just after lunch tomorrow will be the senior 400s, but we've got the junior 400s finals this afternoon. So the under 18s and under 16s, they will run this afternoon from 3 o'clock through to 4 o'clock. Nice clearance there. Bar still at 162, so still early stages in this high jump competition. And the final of our 3 heats in this 400 metre senior men's competition is getting underway. And look, 400 metre racing in New Zealand has been, I don't know if I want to call it patchy over recent years, but I feel like there's a resurgence. I'm looking at the standings in New Zealand 400 metre at the moment, and we've got the top 3 guys all hitting personal best this year, and that doesn't include Liam Webb, who won the first heat, who's the only man to go sub 47 in about 4 or 5 years from New Zealand. So he's got a PB of 46.96. So he'd be the favourite coming in, but then you've got the likes of Tommy Tapuni, Max Atwell ran a good 47-second 400 at the Cooks Classic, and then John Gerber has also been posting personal bests as well, and Lex Revel Lewis. So a lot of guys around that sort of 47 mark, so that's going to be a really interesting race to see how this unfolds. As we click back to the boys in the high jump, you can see there that takeoff, it's almost jumping from a puddle. You saw a bit of a splash as he slammed that left foot down to try and get some purchase on the apron here at Newtown Park. Now, what have we got happening in the shot put circle?
Yes, well, we've got Millie Marshall Kirkwood. She is an 57, in the para women's shot put. She's obviously in the seated category, and we've got a number of competitors in that shot put today, featuring Lisa Adams, Paralympic champion, and she'll be looking forward to build on her campaign to the IPC World Championships in Paris later this year, and then on to the Paralympic Games next year in Paris.
So in this heat, we've got Cerebri Sos, John Gerber, reigning national champ, Flynn Johnston, Ethan Calder-Cass, Troy Middleton, Oliver Dunshee. So another good solid field here. John Gerber gets a good start in lane 3. He's already made up some of that stagger on Flynn Johnston just outside of him, and John Gerber's actually almost coming up on Ethan Calder-Cass, who is one of the boys you'd expect to feature highly in this one. Also looking pretty good is Troy Middleton as they hit 200 metres to go. He is in the blue of Auckland on the left of your screen, so it looks like it's Troy Middleton, Ethan Calder-Cass and John Gerber. Those three coming off the bend onto the home straight now. John Gerber, after that strong start, what's he got over the finish? Ethan Calder-Cass looking strong to get that second place, but pulling away now Troy Middleton, and back comes John Gerber. Oh, big battle for that second place, dive for the line. You can see how much that 400 metre hurts Ethan Calder-Cass, finding himself on the ground here at his home track. Desperate dive for the line, but it is Troy Middleton who will take the win. He will go through automatically. I'm pretty sure John Gerber had it, but wasn't too far away. So Troy Middleton 49.30, John Gerber 49.78, and Ethan Calder-Cass just 0.1 of a second back in 49.87. So we will bring you a summary shortly.
I remember John Gerber running a storming 4x4 leg last year for Otago, and it was just awesome to watch.
Otago's had some good 4x4 teams in recent years, and yeah, they definitely breed them tough down there.
Oh, it's no joke as we look to find our little cues and also keep going at the high jump.
Yeah, so just quickly, summary of who got those little cues. So Josh Ledger and Ethan Calder-Cass both squeaked through with little cues, and basically anyone with a 40-something time got through. So Lex Revel-Lewis, Fergus McLeod, Troy Middleton, Liam Webb, John Gerber, Lewis Northcote, all through on the big cues. So top two in their events, and Josh Ledger, Ethan Calder-Cass go through automatically. Ooh, looking nice and smooth.
That's Lucas Lambert over at the high jump. As a high jumper, when you're landing on the wet pads on a day like this, it's not the best feeling, but it's great to see. Great to see as we see the start list there in the men's under 18.
Has anyone considered wearing a wetsuit?
A wetsuit?
High jumping?
Bit restrictive, I reckon.
Yeah, maybe like a 2 mil vest.
2 mil
yeah.
vest. Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like that would absorb the water, though.
Yeah,
wouldn't
possibly.
It?
Yeah. Here we go. Maybe a triathlon wetsuit, though, it's sort of designed to be a bit more flexible.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
All ideas welcome. This is Samasoni Hewitt from Wellington, goes clear.
Off a short run up, but plenty of speed
Yeah.
by the time he got to the bar.
Got some good springs on him.
Now, we were a bunch of us at the hotel that many of us are staying at the Ibis, one of the sponsors of the event. Thank you, Ibis. We were looking at the foyer. Someone set up a high jump bar, and they've set it at 2 metres 34, which is Hamish Kerr's national record. And no one really noticed it because it's higher than the doorway that you walk through. And then so the challenge became trying to just jump so that your head's as high as the bar is.
So was this before or after you went to Snap Fitness?
Yeah, this was before.
Okay,
this was my sort of warm-up before Snap, just realising how high that bar is at 234, and It's astronomical. And I was just chatting to Terry Lomax, and he explained that a good way to understand the distances and heights in the jumps is a volleyball court. So the height of a men's volleyball net is almost the same height as the world record in the high jump. The width of the court is about the same as the long jump, and then the length is about the same as the triple jump. So tuck that one away when you're next time playing a game of volleyball and want to see how impressive these athletes are. So the bar has been raised in this under-18 high jump competition up to 172. You're doing a bit of Googling.
Well, I was just checking what the standard height of a New Zealand door frame is.
Yeah.
And it's 198.
Okay, that's quite...
Yeah, quite high.
Yeah,
so
quite
then
high.
you add on, above that,
Yep.
that's Hamish Kerr's new national record height. But I remember a few years ago when Bashim was, really attempting, we had this streak on, 2014.
Yeah.
We went for the world record a number of times. And I saw this really awesome image of him going over like the crossbar of a soccer goal, football goal.
Yeah.
And I've just Googled that, and that's 2:44.
Oh, wow.
So the world record
Far out.
in high jump.
There
There you go. But if you're at home and you've got the kids, it's maybe a little bit of a drizzly day. Measure those distances out to really comprehend it. I'm fortunate to go to a number of schools with the New Zealand Olympic Ambassador Program. And often, you say the height, but actually when you actually have it in front of you, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. With some of the kids that I coach, we'll do a little med ball throw challenge, and getting up to 4 or 5 meters with a 4 kg med ball, and then we measure out Val Adams' record, and it is it's pretty amazing when these kids see the measuring tape just go out and out and out and out. It's a great way to understand how impressive our domestic athletes are, and the feats that they've refined their bodies to be able to do.
That's Ty Rhodes at the high jump. He'll go back. What I'd love to see from Ty is just that speed he's got at the start of the runway. Keep it going in those last few strides. This is Samasoni Hewitt. There's Lisa Adams. Oh, there we go. Like that. Tries to clear the circle. Nothing like a good old towel.
Yeah. It sort of reminds me of that meme of when we were trying to keep COVID out of the borders and there's someone sort of sweeping away flood waters. It's raining pretty steadily out there. So you'd probably want a few towels with you.
I've been to a few competitions where they have a good squeegee mop, actually.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
As the ladies are in their blocks, senior women's 400-metre heats, look out for Rosie Elliott.
So she's in lane 2. Then we've got Stella Peerless, Hereti Bernardino from Tahiti, Chantel McDonald, and then Jennifer Hulker back from her silver medal in the 800 metres. So she's got out really strong, actually. Inside, Rosie Elliott's looking good, reigning 200-metre record holder. But this is her favourite event. You can see her there in the long black tights on the inside, wearing the red of Canterbury. And so they're coming up 200 metres to go now. Rosie Elliott now coming into her own, moving ahead of the field. On the outside, Jennifer Hulker looking pretty strong as well. Stella Peerless also looking pretty good from Auckland there in lane 3. But here she comes, Rosie Elliott. She's your reigning champion. Is she tying up here a little bit or just easing off the pace of it, knowing that she's got this one in the bag? I think it's probably more of the latter. She will come through for the win. Stella Peerless will take second place. And Jennifer Halka will need to, well, actually 3 go through automatically. So Jenny is straight on through. And the other 2, Chantal McDonald and Herietzi Bernardino, we'll need to wait and see what happens with the second and final heat of the senior women's 400.
Wonderful to welcome back our international competitors. Always a strong Tahitian contingent. Bienvenue à Nouvelle-Zélande. It's great to have some of our Pacific brothers and sisters back competing in the national championships. This is Ty Rhodes that you see on your screens. Not successful at that, 172. Give you those unofficial results from that last heat.
Okay, then I want to read out the finalists for the event 201. Men's long jump.
We'll get those for you shortly, actually.
So
but Rosie Elliott, that's going to be a really great final to watch tomorrow, Hayden. That's one that I'm excited about. She's hungry for a really strong performance, backing up that Cook's Gardens 52-14.
Yep.
Where she just stormed home and just kept going. And I think her flat speed over that 200, she will really be trying to make a dent in a very long-standing New Zealand record of Kim Robinson's. And we talked about it yesterday, no greater time in women's sprinting in New Zealand. That national record, I'll remind you, is 51.60 set. 1980.
Whoa, it's an oldie. It's an oldie but a goodie.
It's no joke.
Yeah. It's definitely in her crosshairs for Rosie Elliott. And you've got to think, after her and Georgia Hull's blitz to that 200-metre record in Christchurch, the speed is there. And it's just a matter of having that speed endurance to carry you all the way around the full lap.
I've seen some of her workout times recently, and I have to say it's definitely
the
there.
Speed endurance is there?
Yeah. So will she get favourable conditions that will help her? Let's hope so, and let's hope so that the likes of Portia Bing, who we will see in this next heat, will be able to provide a challenge for her, because she's a racer.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you saw that with that 200-metre race. Without Georgia and without Rosie, neither of them could have run the time that they did. They were just stride for stride, battling off each other. So women's pole vault, under 20 start list. We've got Lily Bing, Isla Martin-McKenzie, Maya Grundy and Elaine Zai. They are going at the zoo end of the of Newtown Park. And just driving into what would be a light southerly by Wellington standards. But here we have Ellen Schaaf in lane 2, Portia Bing in lane 3, Alison Andrews-Paul coming back after her win in the 800 in lane 4, Emma Osborne lane 5, Shannon Geary in lane 6. So Portia Bing already looking like she's making up a fair amount of the stagger on the competition. Alison Andrews-Paul moving well as well. Shannon Geary on the outside looking pretty good from Hawke's Bay Gisborne. But the long tights of Portia Bing coming onto the home straight now, those long strides that we're so familiar of her just gliding over the hurdles in the 400. This is the flat 400. It looks like she's going to cruise through to book her a place in tomorrow's final. And alongside of her, the 800-metre champ from yesterday, and Alison Andrews-Paul. Big battle for that third place. And I think it was just Emma Osborne taking it on the line from a strong finishing Shannon Geary. But Portia Bing just cruising around.
Yeah, it was great to talk to Portia and Alison after their races yesterday, both reflecting on how great it is to be racing here at National Champs and showing up, in good shape and ready to deliver for themselves, for their team and for the crowd. And I think wonderful to see Alison back in New Zealand. As we go to the women's para shot put, that's Lisa Adams. She's a force.
So Lisa Adams, our world record holder in the shot put, para shot put. Paralympic gold medalist. Part of that Adams family legacy of incredible athletes. I assume she's still coached by her sister.
She is. Dame Valerie is here. She goes over. Oh, that's Caitlin Bonnet. Oh, sorry, no. Caitlin Dorr. Apologies. Canterbury. So great para-athlete. Unfortunate there for that high jump competitor. The bar just whisked off.
So it's a good field in our para shot put women's competition. We've got 4 in the open division, 1 with Millie Marshall-Kirkwood in the under-20s para, and then Charlie Gardner-Hall is in the under-17. So great to have 6 athletes all going head-to-head. And interesting, they're all throwing different weighted implements. So based on your classification, so the F37 athletes, which includes Lisa Adams, Caitlin Dorr and Shannon Murphy, all throwing 3 kg. And then Una Kanajal Redding, the F46 athlete, she'll be throwing the 4 kg. Millie, the under-20 athlete who's seated, she's throwing the 3 kg, and Charlie Gardner-Hall, the 2 kg. And we've got the pole vault. That is Lily Bing. Is it? No?
Elaine Zai.
Apologies, Lily. I think she is wearing the other Auckland singlet on the runway now. But as we cross back to the under-18s high jump.
Samasoni.
Seen a bit of Samasoni this morning, and hasn't missed one when our cameras have been on him.
Let's take a look. Very relaxed. Great height over the bar. I think he's got quite a few bars left in him.
And here is Lily Bing. Her sister has just cruised through to the... Ooh, a little bit of discomfort there. Hopefully she's okay. Definitely not happy with that right calf. Just saw her sister qualify for the final of the 400 after winning the 400 hurdles title yesterday.
So Elaine and Lily Bing have both had a miss at this opening height. What is critical in these conditions is to get those early bars. And I always remember at the Glasgow 2014 Commonwealth Games, the weather was far more horrendous than this. And the bronze medal was won in like 380.
Wow.
And it was the winner actually went off the short run up to get those early heights.
Right.
Get going.
Yeah.
And it does on the day.
Just tick the box.
Tick the box.
Yeah.
Get it done. Stay in the competition. Get to the next height.
Yeah. Also confirmation with the senior women's 400. Those 2 heats are done and dusted, and we can confirm the little queues. So the 2 athletes squeaking through with non-automatic qualifiers are Shannon Gary and Chantel McDonald. So Henriette Bernardino and Alan Schaaf, unfortunately, both miss out on that top 8, but our top 8 athletes will be back Sunday afternoon. Now, the notable omissions from the field are Isabel Neal and Cameron Smart. Do you have any word on the street?
Yeah, I do have a word on the street on that one, actually, Hayden. I believe Izzy got a little ankle tweak, and Cameron Smart is returning from injury as well. So disappointing not to have the defending champion.
Yeah.
the Australian champion Izzy won.
Yeah, that's right.
And Cameron won 2 years ago in Hawke's Bay against,
Yes.
you know, her best friend Isabel. So we hope to see them back in action and really building, you know, a strong foundation potentially for a 4x4 for Paris, because I think that's a good shot.
Yeah. I like where your thinking is with that one. When you think we've got Portia, Rosie, Izzy, Cameron, and a bunch of other girls not too far behind them, the likes of Mia Powell.
I think Georgia Hulls could run a good 4 too.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
As Samuel Burton goes clear on his third attempt at 177. I really want to get a little broom out and just sweep some of that water out off that high jump apron. I wonder if they'd mind if I pop down there. It's Hadley McDonald, McDougall, apologies. He'll go for his third attempt, must clear this height to stay in the competition as he gives a little shush to someone.
Was that to the coach?
Maybe. Oh,
Says,
well, there you
look,
go.
coach, I don't need any tips. You've done your job.
He's happy.
This is my turn to express my fitness.
Somewhat of a bit of a mullet going on there as well.
Yeah, I
by
like
Hadley.
this
You like it?
subtle little mullet look. It's good. We've seen a few good mullets around. I was watching some of the Super Rugby when I was at the gym last night, and man, there's some mullets out there in our rugby world.
There's some horrendous mullets out there. I'm not gonna shy away from it.
All right, so we've got the Paris shot going at one end of the ground. Now we have a 3 head-to-head wheelchair one-lap battle. This is going to be a goodie. This is not a one-lap battle. It's the 800 metres, of course. They are lining up in their 800-metre start. So in the open women race, we've got Gabrielle Wright wearing the blue singlet of Auckland. She's away to a solid start. Then we've got Sarah James from Canterbury. And in the under-20s that are out there, I'm just trying to get confirmation of... Oh, so it's Jaden Mulvold who is also in this race. So we've got the boys under-20s and the women senior wheelchair athletes as well. So Jaden Mulvold out the front, head down, driving those wheels. He's really up to speed now. Been putting in a lot of work in the wheelchair. He goes through in 70 seconds, and you can guarantee that this next lap is going to be a lot faster than that, because he's shifting well. Now, Sarah James just has the lead over Gabrielle Wright at the moment. And we've seen these two line up against each other so often. Gabrielle Wright picking up the 100-metre bronze yesterday in the under-20s. And Sarah James picking up the 100 bronze and the 400 silver. So it'll be interesting to see how those two pan out. But here comes Jaden Mulvold onto the home straight now. Is that Coach James Kugler potentially getting a few shots at the side of the track? But here he is, head down. Jaden Mulvold driving his way to the line. And 2:17 high. Unofficially, Jaden Mulvold comes through to pick up another medal. He did 1:02 in the 400 yesterday. And here we go, good little battle in this women's wheelchair race. Sarah James has the lead at the moment. And big kick for home, really getting that turnover going. Sarah James cranking things up. Big finish from her. Gabrielle Wright storming down to the finish too. And we will work out the percentages and then work out the exact places.
There's Hadley. He's over, 182, first attempt. And we've also got the under 20 pole vault happening.
If we've got any movement in the bar there, if we had the two Auckland girls over yet.
We've got Elaine on her third attempt. That's the Canterbury athlete, Isla Martin McKenzie. As unfortunately that's the Wellington athlete. That's Lucas Lambert in the high jump. Missed at 182.
Well, I can tell you that Maya Grundy, Elaine Zai and Lily Bing both have 2 misses at 297, but on screen we've got Isla Martin McKenzie, who has cleared at 297, so whether our results maybe just haven't updated yet.
So I see the board there in the background. It is 317.
Okay, so we must have gone up. So
this is live right now.
317 clips the bar, unfortunately. So if you want to follow the live results, jump onto Athletic Live. So just type into your browser live.athletic.net. You can search for the Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Champs. Another good clearance. Bar at 182 in the under 18 high jump. 4 athletes left in it. And the para shot put down at the zoo end of Newtown Park in the rain. You can see the athletes there doing a good job. There's some wet towels there, but they're doing a good job of trying to keep that circle as dry as possible.
And we're so lucky to have these officials standing out here in the rain so these athletes can compete. That was Una from Canterbury, and we have Samuel Burton up in the high jump next. This is the second attempt. Slight lengthen of that last stride. Get it down faster, Samuel. It's so important in these conditions to really just nail your technical model.
So with a lot of events happening around the ground, be sure to jump in the comments and let us know what we need to be focusing on. Obviously a bunch of field events all going on at the same time, so we're trying to bring good coverage of each, so be sure to jump in, cheer on your athletes, and we'll endeavour to get as much of this on screen as possible. High jump bar still at 182.
Lucas Lambert. Nice.
Oh, shaves it, but it stays on.
Goodness me, we were talking about Hadley's mullet.
Yeah, I think he's winning the mullet game.
Yeah, really nice. Strong bend. Drives that right knee up, which is so important. Your leg in closest to the bar. The higher that knee drive gets, the higher you're going to jump.
For a second, I thought you were referring to the mullet being really nice, and then I realised you were referring to the technique of the high jump. But both were really nice.
Yeah, you probably won't catch me on that positive reinforcement of the mullet. But good on you.
So your kids won't be allowed a mullet?
I'd probably chop it off, I'm not going to lie. This is Isla Martin McKenzie, second attempt to 317. Oh, unfortunate. As we go back to the high jump, this is the men's under 18. The bar is 182. Samuel Burton will take his last attempt at this height, stay in the competition. Off he goes, and he will reset. But the yellow flag is up. That means he has 15 seconds to go to start his attempt. And he goes again. And he unfortunately will time out of that one.
So Samuel Burton, that's his last attempt at 182. So he'll finish the competition in 4th place with the clearance at 177. We've got 3 men all battling for those medals. Well, we've also got Hugo Jones, who has passed at all other heights. So he's fancying himself, no doubt, to come in later in the competition. So potentially one of those other 3 might get nudged out of a medal position. It remains to be seen. But at the moment, Samisoni Hewitt, who have seen just be absolutely clean on his score sheet from 162 all the way up to 182. And then we've got Hadley McDougall, who came in at 177 and missed 2 of them. And then he snuck over with his 3rd attempt and then clear first time at 182. And then Lucas Lambert just had a clean sheet up until 182 where he had 1 miss. So he's in 3rd place. Back to Lily Bing.
Sorry, this is Elaine
Sorry.
again.
Yeah. Ooh, so it's proving to be a reasonably tricky day in the pole vault.
Pole vault currently at 3 metres 17.
There's a lot going in. They're going into pretty light but probably shifty breeze, and then the wetness is the big factor for the pole vaulters. Oh,
Hugo
yeah.
Jones.
No worries at all with 186. He moves straight to the lead. Game on for Hugo Jones in this under-18 high jump competition.
Very relaxed, very quick to get off the mats there. Not get too wet early on in the competition. And a nice bend running there by Hugo. As the shot puts go back down to the competitors. We've got a number of field events on right now, but here we are at the pole vault.
Isla Martin McKenzie. Here she goes. No. Is that her 3rd attempt?
I think it
She got-
is. 317. We will try and keep you across those results just as we figure them out.
Now, last year this event was taken out by Hannah Adai in 3:30.
Lucas Lambert there. First attempt 186, just travels across the bar a little bit too much rather than up over the bar. See the backs of their singlets are a bit wet from those soggy high jump mats.
All right, women's para shot put in the rain. Driving across that circle.
Samisoni Hewitt. First attempt 186. This will be a pivotal height. Just noting Hugo Jones, only one to go clear yet at this height. Critical that they get these early round attempts in. Here he goes, and an unfortunate miss there.
That's his first miss for the competition. Now back to the pole vault. And again, just looking at a little look at the grip, like, come on, hands, you're letting me down. Now, Lisa Adams got out in round 1 with a 15.16, then a 15.19. So she's already out beyond that 15-metre line, which is those dotted markers you can see. So she is faring well in this wet conditions, in this wet circle. You've got to think it's hard to hold on to that shot in these sorts of conditions.
You
Keep
can
the
see
grip
lots
on the
lots
shot.
of chalk there. Yeah.
But do you
on the
end up
neck.
in the chalk turning into a paste kind of situation, or does it?
Like
it's
a
not too
mortar and
bad?
pestle kind of situation.
So it's a bit miserable out there for athletes and officials.
That's Charlie
I'm just
Gardner
consulting
Hall
together
from
a reliable
Auckland.
New Zealand Met service,
And the
and it
para
does
women's
say
shot
it's
as
going clear
we
this afternoon. So
go
ever
to
hopeful.
Lucas Lambert.
Troy
The
Mucker
men's
there
under
from
18 high jump.
Auckland. That one out.
He'll have one more attempt at that height.
1.25 kg implement.
So we're at 186. The next height will be 190. So far, we've only had one athlete go clear, and that was the first jump from Hugo Jones, who's found himself in a commanding position in this under 18 competition. He's New Zealand Secondary School's high jump champ. And here is Shannon Murphy.
5 Troy with that throw.
The left-handed thrower from Auckland releases, gets out towards the 10-metre mark. And second attempt for Samasoni.
Also got going on our men's long jump under 20 on the far side on the back straight. It's Caitlin Daw in the women's parrot shot. And Samasoni at the Samasoni Hewitt at the men's under 18 high jump. Oh, loads of the spring and
Yes.
sends it.
One of the local boys, I almost thought he kind of looked to the sky and said, "Thank you, Wellington." This is the sort of weather we wanted to give to our guests. I'm used to this track, these conditions. Una Kinajil Redding, another left-handed thrower, and again getting out towards that 10-metre marker. She has a best so far of 7.97. And we've got the men's under 20 long jump going on the other side. Now, what's worse, landing on a wet high jump pad or landing in a wet sand pit?
Definitely the sand pit, actually. And it kind of depends on what type of sand it is, because you used to go around to some tracks and it was kind of like kitty litter, grainy. And on a wet day, it's not good, particularly for the lack of clothing that. If you're wearing briefs, not
enjoyable.
Not
yeah.
good. Lisa Adams.
So she's already up to 15.19. It was in round 2. Now we're into round 5. Again, getting close, but as that gets a red flag. So I think she just stepped that one out. Gone for a little jog over to see the coach. And a reminder, Lisa Adams' national record, which I believe is the world record in her F37 category, is 15.50. So she's not too far off that in these conditions. On a coolish autumn morning, drizzly. And look, you can't ask for much better wisdom and encouragement than Dame Val in your corner. So one more round for Lisa.
The bar on the high jump just about to be raised to 1.90 metre.
So the bar in the under-18 high jump will go to 190 as we now flick over to the men's long jump. That's the under-20s.
Yeah, still really early days in this competition. We've got 11 athletes lining up, and we've got through 8 results so far. Leading the competition at the moment is Quinn Hartley, and then it's Angus Liver and Ryan Young. So Quinn Hartley up 685. But as you say, very, very early days in that long jump competition.
Quinn Hartley had a great high jump yesterday. Good to see all these strong young men coming through in the jumps and across all the field events, really. As we go to the Hawke's Bay Gisborne athlete.
Getting everything correct. A big job, a lot of people don't realise. The correct height, the correct marks, the correct weight on the legs, everything has to be perfect.
Shannon Murphy now in the women's shot put. .839 from round 2. That's her best so far today, but she's had a consistent day in the office. High 7s, low 8s.
So we see William Steadman there, one of our Paralympic stars, Paralympic medalists. Ran the 400 yesterday.
Yeah, almost 95% of world record yesterday. Pretty impressive. That one lapper. In what wasn't ideal 400 running conditions, bit of breeze by the time he was running, but here he goes in the long jump. This is maybe his more favoured event. I have to check how many medals he's actually won across the sprints and the long jump. Hold the phone, call it, let me double check. So at Tokyo, he got silver in the long jump, bronze in the 400. And at Rio, it was bronze in the 400 and 800, 5th in the long jump. So you probably saying the 400's likely. 2 medals in the 400, 1 in the long jump.
Hugo Jones. Not to be.
Is that his first miss?
First miss, 190. As he goes across to the coach.
So Samisoni Hewitt now has a bit of an opportunity because he hasn't had an attempt at 190 yet. He had 1 miss at 186, but this could flip the game on its head if Samisoni can clear this height on the first attempt. So this is where those first attempts really come into it. There is Samisoni. So the 2 Wellington athletes left in the competition. Probably the 2 athletes who are most familiar with these sorts of conditions at Newtown Park.
Starting from a nice...
Don't you love... Look at these boys sharing the blanket. Gotta love that.
That's
It's
lovely.
a beautiful scene.
Looks like a nice blanket too, actually.
Someone's come
Looks
prepared.
cozy.
Good
Looks
teamwork,
cozy.
everyone. Okay, we've got Lisa Adams lining up for her final throw in this para shot put competition. Samisoni getting ready for his first attempt at the new height. Here he is, first attempt. This is key. Oh, he's knocked it down, so that will at least keep him in second place.
She resets.
So she's had a bit of a direction from the coach, Dame Val, older sister. She's thrown 15.19, 31 seconds off her own world record. It looked close to 15, but she says, measurers, don't worry about that. Pretty sure I got the gold. And Hugo Jones, over he goes. Cements his place as the #1 jumper in the under-18 category.
Like that.
And we saw that little bound, little skip in the run-up. Every high jumper seems to have a different sort of pattern of how they approach it. Maybe start off with some bounds and some shorter strides. Did you have any little tricks that you used to do in the run-up?
Oh, look, I used to fluff around at the start of my high jump run-up. But the bound sets your hips in the right position to go forward.
Yeah.
And you see the likes of Nicola McDermott, Nicola Oslage, if I've said her married name right, who jumped.
Yep. The Aussie girl.
The Aussie girl, you know, second in Tokyo, who loves a good bound in.
Yeah.
And it really just promotes your hips forward, gets you going forward, and sets you up to then really attack that curve as Samasone has a think.
This is a second attempt, remember, so he's
Second
got a bit
attempt.
of time, but maybe that mind game, he shakes the head.
So as the field whittles down, when it comes down to 2, you have a slightly longer time in between jumps. When it's just one jumper, you have longer then as well. You've got lovely favourable officials. They might be a little bit late to start the stopwatch, which is always handy. Here he goes. Better attempt.
Now, what we've been told is the bar has been raised to 194. Oh, no. The results have been just updated as I say that. I thought maybe he had passed on his second attempt at 190 and gone straight up to 194, but no, that was his second miss, potentially third by the way that he's gone in to celebrate. Congratulate Hugo Jones. All right, 110 hurdles is next up on the track. So the boys in the high hurdles. And this is the under 18s who will be kicking things off. Straight final. We have Harry Williamson from Canterbury in lane 2. Luan Peasley of Auckland in lane 3. Hekua Tupaia from Tahiti. Rhys Evans from Auckland. Noah Retford from Auckland. And Daniel Mullins from Auckland. So those 3 Auckland singlets on the left hand of the screen. The white and red of Tahiti. And another Aucklander and a Cantabrian. To keep the Aucklanders honest on the inside in lane 2. The officials doing a great job of setting up all these hurdles.
There's an army out them right now.
It really is.
Yeah. Because they've got to get the heights right, they've got to get the weights right of where the balance is on the hurdle, and you've got 10 flights, 8 lanes. It's a lot of hurdles.
It's a lot of hurdles. They've got to be put in the right place. They've got to be put in the right height. And Samasone, last attempt, and he misses on this last attempt. Throws his head up to the sky. He'll go home with a silver medal. He's battled well in the high jump today, but his teammate Hugo Jones will come and embrace him. Hugo Jones is the national champion, the local boy. He will take home the gold medal. And now the boys in the 110 hurdles under 18 final get a chance to go through their starts, get into their rhythms. We've already seen some big drama in the hurdles and steeples yesterday.
Oh, the men's steeples. What a... Oh, goodness me.
If you haven't seen that, you need to at some point go back and watch the coverage from yesterday, because the senior men's steeples.
Oh, goodness me. The race is not over till the fat lady sings, until you all get across the line, because the Auckland athlete had it in the bag, faltered at the final hurdle.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, it was Matthew Arnold.
Matthew Arnold, that's the name.
He had paced himself well from memory. Michael Sutton got out hard, in the first K.
Yeah.
And then Matthew Arnold moved through. It looked like he had just run the smartest race possible. Then the legs just had nothing left for that last barrier.
It was like mind willing, and then the body just said, it's like computer said no.
Yeah.
And he just stopped in front of that last hurdle. Oh.
Brutal scenes. And then so it meant that Michael Sutton was able to roll through after it looked like he was fading, and roll through and claim the national title. And we also saw in the junior 400 hurdles with Grace Wisniewski clipping the hurdle with what is it, about 40 metres to go, falling to the ground, getting back to her feet, and still hanging on for the win. Absolute scenes here at Newtown Park yesterday. And we're looking forward to more of that kind of drama. Hopefully no clipping of hurdles and falling to the ground, but we will see plenty of courage and determination and athleticism on screen.
So this is Kieran Lomax, actually. Sinclair Lomax, son of Terry Lomax.
Oh, nice.
As we go to Hugo Jones.
The bar is at, I guess he can basically...
197.
Yeah, 197.
There we go.
He did well not to get a face full of sand in there. That was sort of the plant the feet and then just walk on out of there.
Yeah.
Must
What would you rather? Soggy high jump mat or landing in a...
I'm going to go the soggy high jump mat.
Yeah.
As we cross over to the under 18 final here in the 110 hurdles. Here we go. Good strong start from Lewin Peasley of Auckland, but the other two Aucklanders are lining up next to him. Reese Evans is looking strong. Noah Retford, Reese Evans, Noah Retford right next to him. Reese Evans hangs on. Wow, that was good, strong battle with those Auckland boys, but it was Reese Evans just in the middle, being pushed all the way to the line from Noah Retford. Now let's have a look at this, because early stages went to Lewin Peasley, and then he just started to lose his rhythm a little. As the other two, oh, it's pretty close on the line. That dip was good from Noah.
Yeah, great to see. As the unofficial times come through now, that's Reese Evans in 15:15, Noah Retford 15:18. And that's a really tight battle there. Luan Peasley, also Auckland, 15:68. So it's an Auckland sweep in the first of our short hurdle finals, men's 110, under 18. It's all go here at Newtown Park. As we go to the long jump.
So our results are still saying that we're in the round one, but I believe the results aren't as up to date as they could be in this long jump competition. We still have Quinn Hartley looking like he's still got the lead of 6.85, but Angus Liver with a 6.84 in round one as well, and those two know each other very well, having faced each other last year in this competition. Angus Liver took that one out with a 7.10 ahead of Quinn Hartley's 6.67. So far this year, Angus Liver has hit a 6.97. So those boys straight out of the gate are jumping pretty well in these conditions.
As we see our army of volunteers shifting the hurdles to prepare for the next track races. They'll change it from the 110 marks to the 100 marks, as we will start with men's under 16 finals shortly. and then move through the women's.
So Asher Pettingill brand on screen. Also one of the young men we'd talk about as strong potential for a medal in this long jump competition. And Forbes Kennedy will be in that discussion as well. Here is Forbes Kennedy pumping the arms, driving. Good reach, gets the white flag. And so we've got the under 16 discus. This is Troy Marker.
Nice throw. So Troy Marker is our competition leader at this point. Round 2, he threw 51.55. As we cross back to the long jump.
Luke Moffat. So Luke Moffat picked up that silver medal in the under-20s 400 hurdles. Also featuring in the long jump this weekend.
In third position with a throw of 32 metres 30 from Wellington, Faith Solar.
And we've got Jack Burns in the under 16 discus circle. Round 1. Just hangs on to that and keeps it inside the sector. No, outside.
That's Tamahei Wiripa from Hawke's Bay, Gisborne. Now, just to give us some insights, we've actually got the men's under 20 long jump and the men's long jump para going on in the same event.
Right.
That's why you see the likes of William Stedman and also Tamahei Wiripa from the Hawke's Bay, Gisborne. Now, we mentioned it yesterday, but I think it's really important to reiterate it today. We are thinking of all our athletics community and all of our Kiwis out there, particularly from those regions, Hawke's Bay, Tairāwhiti, Northland, Tamaki Makaurau, anyone that's been affected by the recent cyclone and weather events. Kia kaha, stay strong, and you're in our thoughts as we go to William Stedman.
So silver medalist at the Paralympics in this competition. Here he goes. Second round for William. So 4.99 was his distance in the previous round. And to give you a gauge, at Tokyo, to claim that silver, he did a 5.64. So conditions in Tokyo probably a little bit more favourable than right now in Wellington. But as I say that, the sun's just trying to do its best to come on out. And
I think it's going to sneak out, actually,
yeah,
Hayden.
I've got good faith in this Wellington weather that we could be at least improving the situation from drizzle, southerly drizzle, to maybe southerly sunshine. The southerly's supposed to stick around for the rest of the weekend, which will keep temperatures on the cooler side of things. But the rain is supposed to sort of come and go.
Troy Marker, final attempt in the under 16 discus. Can he go further? It doesn't appear to be further than his second round throw, 51.55. So he will take the competition unofficial results there, but we'll get some official results for you shortly. But it looks like Troy Marker. As we go to competitor.
Yeah, Zachary Orbel on the runway. Round 2 attempt. He did a 3:18 to start his competition.
Rico Putama in 2 for Wellington, Tony McPhail Taranaki in 3, Connor Rook for Wellington in 4, Connor Brady Auckland in 5, Asher Robertson Wellington in 6, Ty Gonzalez from Auckland in 7, and Jacob Burkhardt from Southland in 8.
All right, we've got another hurdles lineup down there on the 110 runway, 110 metre track. So, well, sorry, it's
100 metres.
100 metres for the under 16. That
Yeah.
caught me by surprise. So the hurdles have been lowered to 0.838 of a metre, and we have Rico Putama from Wellington, Cody McPhail from Taranaki, Connor Rook from Wellington, Connor Brady from Auckland, Asher Robertson from Wellington, Ty Gonzalez from Auckland, and Jacob Vorkamp from Southland. He's out there in lane 8. So it must be quite a change for these athletes when they switch up from 100 hurdles to 110. Working out the strides between each of the hurdles, strides between the start and the finish. So
Moments away.
yeah, the high hurdles that are still to come. Next we move to the under 18s women's 100 hurdles, and then it's the under 16 women actually run the 80 metre high hurdles. And that will round out the action on the track this morning. And then after lunch we come back with the prelims and some straight finals of the 1500s. So the straight finals, I believe, will be the under 16s and under 18s.
Lots of umbrellas out today. Over on the back straight is our men's long jump under 20, also featuring the senior men's long jump para athletes. As they move through the rounds, as we go to their marks.
So the under 1600 metre hurdles, this is the final. From lane 2, we've got Rico Potama. Lane 3, Cody McPhail. Lane 4, Connor Rook. Lane 5, Connor Brady. Lane 6, Asher Robertson. Lane 7, Ty Gonzalez. Lane 8, Jacob Vorkamp. Away cleanly, and first to rise was the Wellingtonian on the outside. Also the Southlander, Jacob Vorkamp, looking pretty good, but it is the Wellingtonian next to him, Cody McPhail. Rico Potama holding on for the win. He looks to his right, big smile. He's stoked, winning his first national title as an under 16 hurdler. Goes over to embrace Jacob Vorkamp, who looked like he came through for at least a bronze. But Cody McPhail of Taranaki was right up there as well. Let's have a look at these boys. Rising in tandem was Rico Potama and Cody McPhail. So Cody McPhail has been given the silver. And very close for that silver medal. Jacob Vorkamp coming through for the bronze, just 0.02 of a second behind Cody. And Connor Rook not too far behind him at 15.53.
Good running through the line there by Cody. You know, chipped that last hurdle, but got up there, still managed to retain that silver medal. Great to see.
And the army of volunteers is back out on the track, readjusting the heights, getting ready for the women's 100 hurdles under 18. So we go from 83.8 centimetre hurdles and we bring them down to 76.2.
Or 2'6".
Ah, yes.
But more light coming through, I think, weather condition-wise.
Definitely that sun is trying to get rid of the cloud and the drizzle that's still persisting around the ground. I did notice last night we weren't quite here late enough to hear the monkeys over the back fence. Usually at evening meets, around feeding time, you can hear the monkeys, which are sort of over the back of the long jump past the warm-up area. And there's a certain time of day when they just make a lot of noise.
I can actually see the chimpanzee enclosure.
Yeah, it probably is the chimpanzee.
Right
yeah.
from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, not the monkeys.
And, the Wellington Zoo is such a great zoo.
It's so great.
If you are in town, in the city, in our capital, you know, it's a really good zoo for adults and kids.
Yeah.
We took our kids there last year. I was actually going to wonder if any athletes wanted to entertain my children for a couple of hours at the zoo.
yeah, love it.
But it's a lovely,
duties.
you know.
Okay, cool.
It's a great place in Wellington.
You're good to go.
Family friendly.
Yeah, it's one of those zoos when you walk in and the animals look pretty happy, and the enclosures are really nice. It's a cool spot.
Actually, I'll tell you that during lockdown there was this song called The Funky Gibbon, which for some reason we started playing to our children, my son Max and daughter Poppy. Anyway, we're at the queue after we come down here to visit family after we've been released and back into the wild as citizens.
Yeah.
And we're in the queue at the front of the zoo, and we hear a noise, and we're like, what is that animal? Say to the zookeeper, it's the gibbons. And my children just burst into a rendition of the Funky Gibbon. So the gibbons also, great enclosure there, but well worth a visit.
And we're actually making use of the zoo this weekend with Mariah Ridinui running some coaching sessions. We've got some of our top coaches there providing seminars at the Zoo Cafe throughout the weekend. So we're going to take a short break here at the 2023 Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Champs, and we'll be back in just a moment.
We're proud of our country, mountains and streams.
Our Jennian culture, our nation, our team.
Partnering with people who share your values is important. To achieve gold medals, you've got to put the hard yards in. The Jennian team share that pursuit of excellence, giving their best every day. And they get the results. Well done on 40 years, Jennian. Thanks for being the team behind the NZ team.
Clinicians thinks the way your body works is fascinating. Look at what happens when you breathe. Your lungs are constantly bringing in fresh air, catching oxygen to power your body and getting rid of carbon dioxide. But in winter, our lungs may need added support. So we've created Prospan Bronchial Syrup. New Zealand's #1 natural bronchial syrup, it contains a unique ivy leaf extract to soothe the throat and help clear the airways, supporting your whole family's health this winter. Clinicians, keep your body working.
To be awarded more than any other in the Registered Master Builders House of the Year Awards is testament to the craftsmanship that goes into every Jennian home. Thanks for continually raising the standards. Well done on 40 years, Jennian.
All right, everyone play it cool.
Is there a problem, sir?
Just a routine security check. Might pop in the boot for me.
There's nothing back there, sir.
Well, there won't be any problem with me taking a look in there, will there? There's thousands in cash back there. This car must be the brand new Skoda you're giving away on the hits for the cash and car competition! Can I get a selfie?
Yeah, it's always nice to meet a fan.
Not with you, mate, with the car. Could you lot move down so it's just me and the car?
Listen to the hits to be in to win a Skoda Kamiq Monte Carlo loaded with cash.
Thursday, March 16th, live on the Athletics New Zealand YouTube channel, the Sir Graham Douglas International, presented by Harcourts Cooper & Co. Your summer of athletics continues as a galaxy of star names compete at this World Athletics Continental Tour event with the World Athletics Championships and World Para Athletics Championships in their sights. The Sir Graham Douglas International, presented by Harcourts Cooper & Co. Watch live Thursday, March 16th on the Athletics New Zealand YouTube channel. Proudly brought to you by Douglas Pharmaceuticals, Harcourts Cooper & Co. The Trusts, the Hits, and our event partners.
Day 3 at the Jennian Homes Athletics National Track and Field Champs. We've got coming up the under 18 100 metre hurdle final, and it's going to be a cracker of a race here. We've had just a few short hurdle finals prior to this event. The weather is clearing, being very optimistic about it, but we'll get the field for you shortly.
Yeah, so here at the tyre barometer, the 100 metre hurdles, we've got the under 18s lined up, ready to roll. So I believe we've got Jodie McCarthy-Dempsey in lane 2, Talia Van Rooyen in lane 3, Ella Waldron from Canterbury in lane 4, Amelia Smith from Samoa, lane 5, Holly Gray in lane 6, and Zara Rattray in lane 7. So Talia coming back from her win in the 100 metres. Can she add to it with a win here in the tie-upper, the hurdles?
Here they go, on their marks.
So McCarthy-Dempsey in lane 2, Van Rooyen lane 3, Ella Waldron lane 4, Amelia Smith lane 5, Holly Gray. As we see Talia moving to the front, but the two Cantabrians looking strong as well, Ella Waldron and Holly Gray. Talia Van Rooyen now pushing for the line. Oh, it's very close between her and Holly Gray. Wow, we're going to have a look at this replay because that was super tight on the line. We heard some clattering of hurdles. Just those feet clipping the hurdles, but the girls are all looking pretty pumped after that one. Talia Van Rooyen, the 100 metre under 18s champion. Talk us through this, Sarah Kelly Ross.
Well, great to see that really leaning into that hurdle, and a really strong finish there by Holly Gray. But Talia Van Rooyen, winner of the under 18 100-metre hurdles in a time of 14:58 to Holly Gray 14:62. Ella Waldron of Canterbury 14:89, and Amelia Smith 15:05. Across from Melbourne is Amelia Smith, so wonderful to have her here representing Samoa as the under 18 athletes head back round the track. Great start as the hurdles now will go down to our final short hurdle final of this morning, and it will be the 80-metre hurdles for the women 16. Also, the hurdle height will be 2'6". When they go to the seniors, they go up at an under 20 level to 2'9". Does make a little difference actually going up to that extra height.
Oh yeah, especially when you've trained your body to skim it by millimetres. Not waste any energy over the hurdles. It must be strange to make that adjustment. Hopefully your legs grow at the same time as you move up in the hurdle.
Hopefully. And I actually remember going from 70-metre hurdles, then to 80-metre hurdles, then to 100 hurdles.
Oh, so confusing.
And it's actually a really nice progression, actually.
Yeah.
But I'd say going from the 80 to the 100 with the hurdle height change is the most difficult for these athletes to get a handle on. But it's really great to see these young hurdlers out there doing it.
Now, apologies, our results have stopped coming through from the under-20s long jump. So we'll try and update you with where that is at. And we've also got the para open long jumpers going as well. Our last results to come through were from round 1. We're probably now into about round 3 or 4. I want to say round 4 because there's a bit of a break in the action. It looked like they were resetting into the order for round 4 for the top 8. But we'll bring you the results as soon as we get them. And that southerly just starting to bite a little.
Yeah, just a little shiver.
I was going to say, I haven't not worn shorts for quite a long time, probably all year. So this is one of my first times wearing jeans for the year,
well,
as you do when you come to Wellington in late summer.
Bring all clothes, bring all options.
You've got the ski jacket on already.
I've got a ski jacket on.
Mine's ready to go. Thermals, not quite yet.
Not merinos, not up to puffer jacket kind of material. Can see also that they have changing the direction of the pole vault mats. We've got a marquee final this afternoon, the senior women's pole vault.
So you'd rather have a tailwind blowing you in?
You'd rather have a tailwind any day of the week.
That's interesting. So obviously when the under-20s were setting up, there must have been a light northerly blowing in, and it switched to a southerly. And we should wrap up some of those results shortly. We've sort of been waiting for graphics to come through from the event system we use, but there's been a few issues with those results coming through. But I can tell you that Isla Martin McKenzie won with a 2.97, and then on countback, Elaine Zai, who also had 2.97, got second place, and then in third, Maya Grundy with a 2.77, which was equalled by Lily Bing 2.77. But on countback, the medals go to Isla, Elaine, and Maya in that order. We also had a great high jump competition with Hugo Jones taking out the men's under 18 and his Wellingtonian teammate Samasoni Hewitt coming through in second place, and third went to Hadley McDougall. And over in the para women's shot, we believe, results have come through already. The percentages have been worked out. So Lisa Adams took out the open women's shot. Una Ganadjal Redding took out the under 20s. With Caitlin Dorr coming in second place in the senior women's shot with 870. Shannon Murphy, 839, second place in the under 20s. So I think that man on screen was in the lead at the last look of this long jump competition, but like I say, we only had round one to refer to. And now we're starting to get some more results coming through, but they're kind of all over the show. So we'll bring you up to speed as soon as we get that. But we're back to the tie upper, which is the Te Reo word for hurdles. Love the snow angel finish in the sand pit. Like, if I'm in the sand, I may as well get it all over me. Just embrace it. Yeah, brushing it off. You mentioned about the sand being quite grainy. I'm pretty sure it is grainy in Wellington because it needs to stay in the sand pit. So the windier it is, the heavier grain you need.
You can get some such nice long jump pits where you just slide in. And it really does help with, the potential grazing from the sand, texture.
You know that Mount Maunganui sand, that squeaky sand, that nice sand? Do we have any pits like that, maybe in Tauranga?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Did a little triple jump there a few years ago, but we now look forward to the women's 80-metre hurdles under 16. Lane 2, Lauren Barrett Hamilton. Lane 3, Juliet McKinley Manawatu Whanganui. Lane 4, Madison Early from Auckland. Lane 5, Molly McManus from Tasman. Lane 6, Fernanda Triago from Auckland, and lane 7, rounding out the field, Holly Robbins from Wellington. Women's 16, 80-metre hurdles.
So just 80 metres. This is going to be short, sharp, and furious over these hurdles. Just 8 of them for this race, which would make sense. If you drop 20 metres, you're probably going to drop a couple of hurdles. So the final of our high hurdles, we'll see the seniors later in the weekend. But getting into their blocks now. So it's Barrett Hamilton in lane 2. Next to her is Juliet McKinley, Madison Early, Molly McManus, Fernando Torrado, Holly Robbins, and we're away in the under 16 80-metre hurdles. Good start from Molly McManus of Tasman. Next to her, Fernando Torrado running well as well. Bit of clattering of the hurdles. Fernando is through. Fernanda Torrado of Auckland. She will take it out, the 14-year-old. Good clean hurdling from Fernanda.
Right from the gun, she was first out of the blocks and first to the first hurdle, which she just sets her up to keep going through this 80-metre hurdle. That was great hurdling there with the left leg, left lead leg, strong trail, really bringing that right knee high through the hurdles, driving to the line. And congratulations to our 80-metre hurdle, under 16 competitors and the ones that will be on the podium.
So Fernando Torrado takes it out. Molly McManus confirmed in second place. Juliet McKinley in third with a 12.72. So close running for our hurdlers there. And we skip on back to the long jump, and results are slowly filtering through. So we will be able to bring you an update very soon. We think we're into round 4 at the moment.
And sorry, Hayden.
There you go.
Kaylin Paranihi from Auckland.
We think is sitting in 6th place. And then ahead of him, from what we understand, is Luke Moffat at 5th. Then we've got Kieran Sinclair Lomax. Then Ryan Young in 3rd, Angus Liver in 2nd, and Quinn Hartley in 1st with 6.85 that he has jumped twice. And Kaylin coming there with a 6.28. Now, will that change his picture? I think it might. Just gets him in 7th there.
So this is Kieran Sinclair Lomax on the runway.
Driving the arms, getting good speed on the runway. Good height too. So sitting in 5th with a 6.36 from round 3.
With his dad there. Terry Lomax. So, assisted by James Sanderland, Kieran as well in his coaching team. But great to see Terry and Kieran out there. As we go to the next competitor.
This is Forbes Kennedy.
Great extension there in the landing. Just trying to sneak that bib number. Give us a clue.
It's a 4, and he's wearing the green of Manawatu Wanganui. That doesn't help us because both the Manawatu Wanganui athletes start with a 4. Pretty sure it's Forbes Kennedy.
Now, the competitors in the senior women's discus are warming up. Great field there this afternoon. For Tatiana Ko-Moana, Savannah Skeen. As we have the medal presentation for the women's para shot put.
Open. Sponsored by Go Media and presented by Tracy
So
Phillips.
Lisa Adams will receive another gold medal, hitting 98% of her own world record.
From Canterbury, Caitlin Dorr.
Caitlin Dorr in 3rd place. So it looks like the under-20s and seniors have been combined into the same event, so that means Una Kanachil Redding will pick up the silver, who is just 17 years of age.
In second position with a throw of 7 metres 98 and a percentage of 63.99 from Canterbury, Una Kanachil Redding.
And on the screen now are some of the senior women who will be in action for the discus. Great to see that Samoan athlete there. Rana Tafili. Got Natalia Lankanchita. Tatiana Ko-Moana as Lisa Adams gets her gold medal from Tracy Phillips there. Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in Auckland in the high jump.
ready to meet the competitors in the Jennian Homes.
All smiles on the podium in the women's para shot put.
Over to you.
And here's the field of this exciting discus competition. It was very close last year at the National Champs. Tarina Keenan coming out on top last year. She is not in this field. It was Tapanisa Javier who picked up second, who is also not here. Tatiana Kumoana is the former athlete this year, but Savannah Sheen has been dropping some PBs as well. So Savannah and Tatiana both been up into the mid-50s. 55.03 is Savannah's personal best. There she is. So we've got Natalia Rankin-Chita back from her win in the under-20s shot put and second place in the senior women's shot. And Savannah Sheen, Zana Beatty, Imla Wick, Iorana Tavili and Tatiana Kumoana.
Don't want to jinx it, but I feel like the rain stopped. Should be handy for these women.
Absolutely.
In the discus circle.
The throwers would be very pleased. Much less work for their towels to have to do. And the circle is comparative to the para shot, who had to almost swim across the circle. And straight out the gate, Natalia Rankin-Chita. Assume that's a practice throw.
Yep, final practice throws for these women.
But that looked already
it's out there.
like it was out to 50 metres plus. So
it's no joke, that was full throttle.
So one thing I'm loving about senior women's discus at the moment, you know, we've got Beatrice Famwena's record still stands 68.52, but the top 7 athletes, 5 of them have been dropping personal best this year, so that shows the event's on the up. And of those who haven't done a personal best, they basically did it last year, so the event is on the up and up.
Things we love to see, Hayden. Things we love to see. People out there doing their best, improving, doing the mahi and getting the treats.
Got to do the mahi to get the treats, right?
After 5 rounds,
Parenting 101.
Parenting and life.
Yeah, parenting and life.
In second place, Quinn Hartley with 685, which he's jumped twice.
Just coming really to the end of our morning session. But, still plenty of action.
You know, we'll get an update from our production team what the schedule is for taking a little lunch break, and we'll be back for an exciting session 2. Just so that you can all plan out your day, because the afternoon in particular, you know, we've got this senior final in the discus. The afternoon is going to have a real strong focus on the field. We've got the likes of Tom and Jacko lining up in the shot. So we're going to cover the entirety of this discus competition, and then we'll take a little break before we come back for the action this afternoon, where we have the women's pole vault, senior women's pole vault. That's that much anticipated matchup between Imogen Eris, Eliza McCartney and Olivia McTaggart. And then we've got the men's high jump at 2:15, women's long jump at 3 p.m. and then the men's shot, the big boys arrive at 5 minutes to 4. So that's all to come in the field. But right now the focus will turn to the discus circle. And I love watching the discus. It's one of the, kind of like the hammer in terms of poise and control and you know, it's that classic image of the Greek Olympian throwing the discus that we see, you know, carved in bronze, or it's not really carved in bronze, is it? But it's one of the events that goes back, you know, 3,000 years, and so cool that we're still doing it today.
And this is Natalia, a real talent. Puts it out there. I think her warm-up throw actually was further than that.
yeah, I think we're going to add another 5 metres to that from her warm-up. But nevertheless, we do not measure warm-up throws, unfortunately, but that is a mark on the board, nevertheless, for our under-20 shot put champion and silver medalist in the senior shot. So Natalia having a busy old weekend in the throws, as she usually does at any competition. Often the junior throwers, they don't just keep to one throw event, they'll mix it up by jumping up into the senior ranks or moving up an age group.
As we go to one of the favourites, Tatiana Komoana winds up.
From Waikato Bay, plenty good flight on that one. That's gone out beyond 50 metres early on in this competition. Looked really nice. And wind direction is reasonably favourable. It feels like there's a little bit of east in this wind, which would be, if it's a true east, would be a headwind.
I am really impressed with your wind knowledge,
I'm a surfer, so it's sort of, you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is either look out the window, see which way. I've got a neighbour with a Ukrainian flag flying above their property.
Isn't that lovely?
And the key for me is which direction it's going. If it's offshore, you then check the apps to see what swell's doing. If it's onshore, you go back to bed or just head out for a run.
Zimbalawink from Otago. Hayden gives us his surfing advice. Appreciated.
Yeah. You get everything on this broadcast.
No, next year for Paris, the Olympics, the surfing is actually in Tahiti.
Amazing. This part of the world. So that's at Tiapu, which is the famous deadly surf break in Tahiti. And that will be incredible to see. Hopefully they get good swell conditions. But here we are. We've got our Samoan athlete, Irana Tafili. Winding up in round one, sending that discus out just outside of the sector. You can see how wet it is. It probably slid 40 metres across the turf.
The discus retrieval officials, they get the step counts up. So we go to our next athlete into the circle. This is Savannah Skeen, 21.
Now, are we saying Skeen or Sheen? I could be wrong, so I'm sure there are some Savannah fans out there, so do jump in the comment section.
I should know this.
It's a Skeen or a Sheen.
Apologies. Now, she's got a PB of 55.03, which she threw in January in Hamilton. Let's see what she can do here. She launches the discus, but it goes to the right, out of the sector.
And that, we've seen a couple go to the right. Is that a little bit of wetness on the discus, just slipping out of the fingers a little early?
Well, I think it's all about the circle, the footwork in the circle.
Right.
So as the footwork in the circle, it dictates where the discus is going. Obviously, with the follow through, but your feet drive, your arms through, and then the final direction. So a few athletes needing to make some alterations after their first round.
Zana Beatty, she's in personal best form, just 20 years of age, out of Otago. She threw a 45.59 to win the Otago title. back on the 11th of February. Here she goes, Zana Beatty, round 1, senior women's discus.
Over the 40-metre mark.
That like is around about that 40-metre mark. So far, Tatiana Komoana has the lead, 52-13. Still very early days. Natalia Rankinchita, she's got 42-13. Emma Wick, 34-52. Iorana and Savannah were both fouls going out to the right of the sector. So just 6 athletes in this competition, but it's going to be very close around those mid-50s. With 3 athletes certainly capable of hitting that kind of range today. Potentially 4 of these athletes, you could say, could be in with a hunt of this title.
Not quite finishing that, coming right through, releasing short. And it's just going out to the right. As we see the medalists in the pole vault earlier this morning. It's Isla Martin McKenzie took the competition of Canterbury in what you could say very tricky conditions.
Yeah. The number of times those junior women in the pole vault have had to deal with difficult pole vaulting conditions. The New Zealand secondaries pole vault was done in just all-time monsoon conditions, and same with the hammer throw. the hammer throw actually had to be cut short.
Tatiana Komoana, round 2, senior women's discus,
yes.
over 50.
Again, similar spot to the previous round, which is 52 meters 13. All right, so the under 20 long jump is going on as we speak. We're getting pretty deep into the competition. In fact, we are now in round 6. So that was Angus Liver with his final attempt. He is in the lead with a 6.89 from round 5. That's 4 centimetres ahead of Quinn Hartley. And is that the result we're giving? 6.73, just being updated now. Is that a 7? It's a 7. He finishes with a 7.05. He will be your champion. Well, I actually think there's one more jump to go for Quinn.
Hartley. Oh, I love this. We've got an alteration in the order.
Love this.
Can Quinn Hartley respond? Here he is.
Quinn Hartley, after winning the high jump yesterday, what can he do today in the long jump? Can he get over 7 metres? He needs to post a 7.06 or
white flag
further. What is it? He has a good look at it.
Coached by Chris Knight there down in Southland, doing great things for the athletics community. Let's get that final measurement. Dramatic end to the under 20 men's long jump.
Quinn picked up the silver medal last year and Angus Liver won this competition. It's a 6. It's a 6. So heartbreak, just pipped at the post. Quinn finishes with his biggest jump of the day, 6.95, but it's not enough. It will be the same order as last year. Angus Liver takes it out. Quinn Hartley in second and Asher Pettingill Brand in third place. So that's the finishing order for a very exciting finish to the under-20s long jump. And we've also got the para long jump taking place at the moment. I can confirm William Steadman has dropped to 5:28 in round 3 and round 2.
So Savannah Skeen
sends that discus out towards the 50-metre mark. Did it land inside the sector? Only just. Look at that.
There we go. She's in.
And it looks to me like it might be a number that starts with a 5. This is where we find out if those markers are in the correct place. We'll know after this. 50-39, so that's they've been actually put in perfect place. Here is Tamahai Werepa.
Great to see our para athletes out there competing in and alongside the men's under-20 long jump competitors.
He's sitting in 3rd place with a 4:15, and that is deemed a foul, so he will keep that 4:15. And well, 3rd place on paper, of course. We need to work out percentages because we've got various categorizations. Zana Beatty now. Round 2, senior women's discus. Out beyond 40. So we know that she can get out to the mid-40s. Here's Jackson Woolley, who's had a really good weekend already in the sprints. So now in the long jump in the final round. He has a 4:85 best from round 2 today, and that's a 4:64, so it won't be an improvement for Jackson.
As we have William Steadman, Paralympic medalist.
Yeah, one of our all-time great Paralympians, William Steadman.
So red flag for William on his last jump, just trying to eke out the final distance as we go to Natalia Rankinchita.
And that one just pointing to the sky a little bit, so not getting the flight that she would have hoped for with that discus. An interesting, all age groups, under 18, under 20, senior women, all throw the same weight of discus, which I did not realise. So 1 kg. So when we talk about, having to adjust to hurdle heights as you go up through the age groups, it's nice and simple. So someone like Natalia doesn't have to worry about different hurdles. And there's a summary of the women's shot put para competition. Lisa Adams was right up 98% of world record. Here is Tatiana Komoana. We're rolling through this senior women's discus competition. So 52-13 round 1, 52-88, and that looked like it's gone further. Surely mid-50s now. Her best this year is 55.82. Her lifetime best 56.51, which was set at the ITM on a very windy day in Christchurch last year. Spinning through the circle, sending that discus. 53.75, inching her way up, extending the lead, putting pressure on the woman behind her. And Embla Wick now comes into the circle. One of 2 Otago athletes in this discus competition, and that not connecting with that one as she would have liked. got a best today of 36.31. I don't think that one's going to improve her situation.
Representing Samoa.
So Irana Tafili has 2 fouls so far in this competition. Given there's only 6 athletes, I imagine she will carry on into the final 3 rounds, regardless of what happens here. But this one is just outside again. So we've seen a little bit of that today with the wet surface conditions. Just sending that discus to the right of the sector.
No, she's got 3 fouls.
Yeah, what's the ruling? Are you
Now,
aware
if
of this?
my memory serves me correctly, generally if there's under 8 competitors, she would be able to stay in the competition and have 3 more opportunities to row. Yeah, we may as well just make that rule for today. She's come a long way. But don't hold me to that. If there's any officials out there, feel free to correct me as we see Savannah skiing. Let's see what she can do. 50 metres 39 in that second round. She'll want to improve as she sets herself.
Remember, she's done 55.03. That's over 50 metres again.
Better.
Won't challenge Tatiana's position, who's out beyond 53 metres. But now we're starting to see that discus land beyond the 50 metre mark on a bit more regularity. So this competition is certainly heating up. You can really see there how the flight of the discus and the wind resistance that it encounters mid-flight really affects its flight. And obviously, the more aerodynamic it stays, the more it's able to go nice and far. That one just standing up against the wind in the last stages. Zana Beatty now.
Athletes, if you have event clashes...
Susanna heading up beyond 40 metres. She's in fourth place at the moment with a 41.13, and it's pretty close between her and Natalia Branconchita. Natalia has a 42.13. So will that third round throw for Zana improve her situation? Just a metre separating Natalia and Zana. 41.92, so just shy, just 21 centimetres shy of Natalia Branconchita. So the midway point in the senior women's competition as we see the medalists in our 800 metre wheelchair race. These two. These two have had some good battles this weekend already.
Yeah, great to see, and great to see all our para-athletes out here. We had Hamish Meacham on the stream yesterday, heavily involved in the para program, and I asked him if you're a para-athlete out there looking at this thinking, hey, that looks like a bit of me, how could I try a bit of para-athletics? He advised to check out your local para-fed club, come directly to Athletics New Zealand, go through the website, join your local athletics club and get amongst it. All welcome.
Absolutely. The centres and clubs work really hard to have that strong level of inclusivity, whatever your ability across the board. And it is something that, you know, I work in the distance running community, and you know, people can be scared, particularly adult runners, to get involved with their local running club. And once they are involved, there is this realisation that, oh, actually I belong here. There's not this expectation of level of performance or experience in the sport. It's a very welcoming community, so I'd encourage anyone to seek out your local athletics club and get involved.
What was your local athletics club?
So Egmont Athletics is my local club. We did have a Kaitaki Athletics Club, which is my home sort of region, but Egmont Athletics is sort of the main club in New Plymouth in terms of summer athletics.
Oh, I've done all right in the last 24 hours, haven't they?
Yeah. A lot of good athletes come out of the Taranaki region. There's something in the water there.
Something in the water.
All right, so the order has been defined, and good news.
We were right.
We were right.
Always good to be on the money when it comes to the official roles. Great to see our Samoan competitor, Orana Tawhili, and still can't quite get that discus in the sector.
She's been consistently hitting that same line, but unfortunately that line is just outside of that sector. So, Iodani, we're hoping that we can get one down the middle of the throwing sector there.
As Mbalawick, she will go into the circle, round 4. Women's senior discus throw. She's had a best so far of 36.31 in round 2. Let's see what she can do here. And that is outside to the left. As the discuses go back to the competitors, dried off with their towels. As we have Natalia Rankinchita, 41.13 in the first round.
One's gone high, just stalls up in mid-air, but it looks like a good improvement. Looks to me like that's at least mid-40s, potentially high 40s. That camera angle is a little deceiving. But I've got the World Athletics Competition and Technical Rules Handbook on hand.
Look at you.
And I was interested to see what is the throwing sector, how much of a target have these women got to aim for when conditions are slippery and wet. You've got 34.92 degrees of angle to
of the
aim
pieces
for.
of the pie.
Yeah. So what's that in terms of a pizza slice?
Well, it's not a very big one, I'll tell you that. But I did see a
What,
young
cutting
boy.
a pizza in half and then in thirds?
There's a young boy in the stand just down from us who's obviously got Domino's for lunch on Uber Eats. Maybe we could use that as a little model.
Yes.
As Savannah Skeen sends it to the left. That look, they've had trouble going to the right and making those adjustments overcorrected. As we see the medalists in our high jump earlier this morning, it was Hugo Jones with his mate there, Samasili Hewitt. A great little battle this morning in the rain. Some very nice jumping. As we see our competition leader, Tatiana Komoana. 53.75 in the last round. Can she go better? Round 4 of the senior women's discus. She stomps her feet down, winds up.
Here we go, round 4 for Tatiana Komoana. That's beyond 50. Again, around that mid-50s. Looks similar to the previous round where she threw 53.75. Super consistent, Tatiana. So certainly the woman to beat today here in Wellington. She's been the form athlete domestically in the discus. this year.
53 metres 20. Into round.
All right, Orana. Tawhili, let's get it in the sector, thank you.
34.92 degrees.
There we go.
Of accuracy.
There we
That's
go.
what we need. 360 degrees to choose from. We need one of those 34.
Famalozzi.
There we
better.
go. Yes.
Yes.
Score on the board. Walks out the back of the circle. Job done. Phew.
Lovely smile. Malot lava.
It looks like it's probably around that mid-30s range, which will definitely put some pressure on Embla Wick, who's sitting in 5th place.
Representing Samoa.
But most importantly, it's a mark on the board. So we're into round 5 here at the senior women's final in the discus. So 34.06, so that has Iorana in 6th place, but importantly with a mark on the board. Now Embla Wick, who is just a couple of metres ahead on 36.31 from round 2. That one looks like it might be a slight improvement, getting out close to 40 metres.
Fifth round throw over that 35 metre line. 36.07.
Zana Beatty. She's had a best so far of 41.92 in round 3. As we move through the rounds here pretty quickly in round 5.
Yeah, we're rolling through this competition. And here is Zana Beatty getting that discus out beyond 40 metres again. And Embla Wick's result has come through 36.07, so that doesn't improve her 36.31 from round 5. I've just checked the Te Reo word for discus, and it is poro awhio. Poro awhio. So a discus thrower is a kaipanga poro awhio. So tuck that one away.
Tuck that one away as we see Natalia Rankinchita. I want to see the same sort of throw we saw in her warm-up throws. She had a throw of 46.82 in round 4, but let's see what she can do as she dries off the discus, dries off her shoes, and loads.
Yes, there. Oh, it had the distance, but unfortunately just outside of that sector. Again, another one heading out to the right. And it's a good thing we don't have any distance races going on, because it's getting awfully close to lane 1. Fortunately, the hole that marks the inside of those lanes would be enough to stop a sliding discus. But it's certainly something that we've seen before, either hammers or discuses going out into the track.
Oh, I've seen a hammer actually get hooked on the back straight and bounced all the way down to the other end of the track. It was Timmy Dryson actually.
Oh, wow.
Bit of a broke works now for Athletics New Zealand, but
yeah.
My goodness, I'll never forget that. That was high danger. Savannah Skeen into the circle, currently in second, her best today of 50.92. 5th round, women's discus.
There they are across the far side of the track. So we have a three-wee Mihivai.
And into the cage there.
Jackie Nazrabadi.
So she'll regroup. One throw to go.
And there's our medalists in the boys discus from earlier, the under 18, or was it the under 16 boys?
Mako Vaka from memory. Hopefully I've got that right. That's Tatiana Komoana, our leader of the competition so far. She'll be looking to extend to 53.75 in round 3. This is round 5.
So she's been the leading Kiwi woman all summer long, and here she is again, getting that discus out into that mid-50s. She's so consistently heaving it out between that 50 and 60 metre marker.
It's incredible range.
That control as she drives across the circle, spinning, releasing, looking at the discus in flight, willing it on.
54.69
An improvement.
Yeah, 54.69, so moving on up and just continuing to extend out beyond Savannah Sheen, who's now 4 metres back on 50.92. So we will catch this last round as Iorana Tafili comes into the circle for the last time today, and then we'll be heading off to a short lunch break. And this one stays in as well, and looks like it might be a slight improvement on that 34.06 that she threw in the 5th round. Certainly very close to it.
Straight down the middle. The athletes want.
34.69 for Iorana Tafili. It's her best effort for today.
$34.69. It is an improvement for Iorana, but she will stay in 6th place, just shy of 2 metres behind this woman on screen, Embla Wick from Otago. Just resets, stays in. It's a good awareness just to reset for that one, and looks like she's finishing on a bit of a high as well, again out towards that 40 metre marker. It won't be enough to challenge Zana Beatty, who's in 4th place on 42.04. So the standings staying the same so far in round 6.
6.66 is also her best effort of the afternoon.
Now when we come back after the break, we will be straight on into the heats of the 1500 metres, the heats for the under 20s and also the seniors coming up this afternoon, but we've got timed finals in the under 16s and under 18s, and then we've got the junior 400 finals kicking off at 3:10, and the 4x100 metre finals will round off the action on the track. And I imagine, Sarah, that's when you'll be out warming up, hopefully taking part in a Waikato Bay of Plenty team.
Well, that was the hope, Hayden, but unfortunately I've just got word that we don't have enough team members.
No.
So, bit disappointing there.
Surely
I
someone
know,
can get the
if
call up.
anyone is out there and, you know, a Waikato Bay of Plenty, if I can get the call up, surely someone else can.
So who have you got in your team? Brooke Summerfield?
Well, this is the problem. Is that
She's a scratch.
She's a scratching,
Oh.
and Mariah Lidanui can't quite get hold of her. She's warming up. She'll be in action in the long jump this afternoon at 3 o'clock. So I can understand that. That's okay. And you know what? It's just a bonus if I could have run, but it's all good.
Can you do the whole thing yourself?
Can I do that? I don't think that would be very pretty, actually. 100 metres is far enough, Hayden.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that's a shame, but we've got a lot of action in the field this afternoon. You've highlighted some of the track, but my goodness, have we got a field event program this afternoon. Some of the senior events will be the pole vault, as mentioned, senior men's high jump, senior men's shot put as well, and senior women long jump. A raft of other junior youth events as we see Natalia Rankin-Cheetah saved her best to last, I believe.
That was just hanging up in the air and had some great flight and almost just hit pause around that 50-metre mark in mid-air and then just dropped to the ground. It's around 50 metres. I don't know if it'll be enough to challenge Savannah Sheen's 50.92. But Natalia, the under-20 athlete, moving up into the senior ranks.
It is 19 the final throw. So that is also her best throw of the day.
I think she will stay in the bronze medal position. We're just waiting for confirmation of that throw to come through.
So she's capable of a bigger throw than Tatiana Komoana, Savannah.
In terms of personal best.
In terms of her personal best, she has done 55.03. So let's see what she can do in the final round. As she sets herself.
Here she goes, good speed. Heaves it out well beyond 50 metres. It's a good throw to finish. Looks like it should be an improvement. She gives it sort of a little side head nod. Semi-happy. Is it enough to challenge that 54.69 that Tatiana threw in round 5?
Put more power into that one.
I don't think it's enough. We're trying to get confirmation of it, and the results aren't coming through to my laptop at the moment.
The indicator board is currently facing away from us. Throw us a bone, guys. Throw us a bone.
Regardless, we are assuming that Tatiana Komoana is still in the lead based on my eye of it, which is known to be wrong, horribly wrong on some occasions. I think Tatiana still has the lead, which would make this the victory throw. But here she is, bronze medal last year. She's been on form all summer long, and that one's going to be around the 50-metre mark. It won't change the picture from her biggest throw of 54.69 in round 5. Tatiana Komoana, she's got a smile on her face because that is a national title, what we believe is a national title.
Now she's won 3 successive national bronze medals in this event, so that's a wonderful result for her.
Wow.
And congratulations to her and her team. Great discus competition in tricky, wet circle conditions, but good to see athletes rising above in that final round as well.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to session 1 on day 3 of the 2023 Jennian Homes New Zealand Track and Field Champs. It's been wonderful to bring you the coverage in a slightly damp Newtown Park, but we will be back at 5 to 1, 12:55, 1 o'clock exactly. So set your alarm clocks, go and grab some lunch, and then come back to catch some of our best athletes in the country. Some of the best athletes in the world will be lining up, particularly in the field events. A lot of action to come this afternoon. Catch you soon. Matewa.
To be awarded more than any other in the Registered Master Builders House of the Year Awards is testament to the craftsmanship that goes into every Jennian home. Thanks for continually raising the standards. Well done on 40 years, Jennian.